get to Reggie Miller in a minute, but I want to explain what bugs me about the way this was officiated. Players aren't rewarded for playing through contact. In fact, such as in this case, sometimes they're punished. For example, if Duren had acted the way a Laker acts and gone flying, just flopped after this contact from LaRavia, which was a blatant blocking foul, then perhaps Duren would be at the free throw line, where he should have been. But he didn't flop. He played through contact, and he paid the price. I know a lot of you are only seeing the elbow in this play, but what stood out to me was Jake LaRavia seeing just what he could get away with now that he's a Laker. Because he looks behind him and he's like, oh, there's a Piston already well on his way to the hoop. No one can stop him. But hey, it's all right. I'm a Laker. I'll just body check him. There's no way I can catch him, but it doesn't matter. I'm a Laker now. In fact, let's see just how far we can go here. Not only will I not get called for a foul, I'll get a flagrant one called on the other team. No, he was hanging out with his buddies the night before. He's like, wait until you see this shit tomorrow, you guys. You're not going to believe it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm like, no, you can't do that. He's like, yeah, I'm a Laker now. How's this not a blocking foul? If you want to penalize the elbow, that's fine, but also call the original foul on the play. Note where LaRavia's body is here. Note the direction it goes and where it ends up. That's a blocking foul. He looks like he's attempting one of LeBron James's moving side screens. I mean, he leads with his shoulder to hit Duren. Duren just kind of like shakes him off. Look, I don't want to get hit by an elbow either, but Jake LaRavia just shoved his body in front of a guy who was in the middle of a layup. Is that elbow high? Yeah, it's a little high for my comfort, but there also wasn't a body and a head there half a second ago. It's not like when LeBron James does it and the lane has people there and he just starts swinging anyway. Oh, who's going to get a foul called on them while taking my elbow to their face? Bear with me, because I am really inclined to say this isn't a malicious elbow. This impact right here changes the trajectory of Duren's left arm. LaRavia's body uses up the space that the arm was going to occupy, and thus it is forced to slide upward. Anyway, that's not even really what I wanted to talk about. And I'm thinking, oh God, what's next? I no longer say, how can it get any worse? Because I always find a way. So now I expect it to get worse. I just say, what's next? And Reggie Miller starts talking. Oh.
Excellent call there by the official. But I will say one thing. Look at Luka right here.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he's about to do it. In footage that is a replay about something else, he's going to go out of his way to crap on Luka.
It's okay, Luka, to move your feet a little bit over and help out. Well, what does he do? He just throws up his hand.
I don't know when I'm going to have a chance to talk about this Kings game, so I might as well throw this in here since Reggie Miller's complaining about Luka complaining.
Here, LeBron James, coast to coast, begging for the foul, up by 20.
LeBron James is in near the end of a blowout game. This is a guy who's supposedly managing injuries, is in near the end of a blowout game. We can't see the foul here. It's not an obvious foul. And he is screaming at the officials in a way that should get him a tech. How do you miss this, by the way? They could have punched him in the face a moment earlier. And if you have this opportunity in front of you, finish. Finish. Let's understand, this is a 20-point blowout against a garbage team missing two of their primary players. I mean, the game's over. The game is over, and he still feels the need to scream his ass off about something that might not have even happened.
It's a matter of making the choice, and too often we have guys that don't want to make that choice. And it's pretty consistent who those guys are.
What are you even doing in the game? Oh, right, cherry picking. Reggie Miller, do me a favor. Do commentary on this. Why is LeBron at the other end ready to receive the cherry pick pass? Huh? How did that happen? LeBron is so full of himself that even on a cherry pick, he decides to showboat. He decides to showboat in a blowout while cherry picking. And then he still has words for the official. Still has words for the official. This guy is something else. He's complaining so hard he threw out his back. Hey, Luka, let's talk about LeBron during your post-game interview. Could you tell us about his high shooting percentage tonight? Sure. Did you count how many were cherry picks that I threw to him? He can finish right next to the rim. Good for him, while not playing defense. But hey, you guys go write an article about my bad defense. Back to the Pistons game. Hey, there's LeBron. Wow, he's already back for some mysterious reason. But look what he does. Thanks for being there, LeBron. Talk about not getting a hand up. Then again, it might be about LeBron keeping that hand down so he can sneakily shove the offensive player without getting whistled, which he always does. Here we have a near replica of the play that Luka was getting called out for.
It's okay, Luka, to move your feet a little bit over. Well, what does he do? He just throws up his hand.
You see how easy this is? I haven't even had to leave the same game that Reggie Miller is calling out Luka. The same game. In the first period, I'm already finding examples, exposing LeBron James for exactly what Reggie Miller is calling Luka out for. The reason I'm specifying the same game is that I could easily go back in the archives and pull up hundreds of examples. Those of you who follow my channel know that every single game I break down for the last several years features LeBron James helping without helping at least 5 times per game. Standing in the help position and doing nothing.
It's okay, Luka, to move your feet a little bit over and help out. It's okay, Luka, to move your feet a little bit over and help out. It's okay, Luka, to move your feet. It's okay, Luka, to move your feet a little bit over and help out. It's okay, Luka, to move your feet.
I have a request/challenge for anyone who's up for it. Send me a link to a video of Reggie Miller saying this about LeBron James ever. And LeBron James is the epitome of standing there and not helping. But part 2 of the challenge. Show me Reggie Miller saying this about Luka when Luka was in Dallas. I mean, he's always been guilty of it. They're both guilty of it. The difference is there's one that you'll criticize for it, and that's only recently. You wonder why we start to think that there's a LeBron James mafia. I mean, Luka's career, Luka's scrutiny since he's become a Laker. Luka, the scapegoat. I'm not a Luka fan, but there's things that you just can't deny.
Doncic trying to answer. Yep. 15-footer baseline over Thompson.
Yeah, but did you see how he just cleared space?
What? What am I hearing? Who does that? Who calls out the offensive players these days? They all clear space. Reggie won't even let the other announcers compliment Luka without stepping in to criticize Luka. Don't tell me that Reggie Miller isn't on the Clutch payroll. He is here to destroy Luka so LeBron has another scapegoat.
Ron Holland was his first pick in that role.
Tipped out scramble.
Not a word. Not an effing word. Hey, they don't know what to say, so they just go silent.
Gonna get the argument from Luka, but
You're always going to get the argument from Luka. The non-calls are calls that Luka kind of goes after the officials and doesn't get back on defense.
You think that gonna get the argument from Luka, but
You're always going to get the argument from Luka. The non-calls are calls that Luka kind of goes after the officials, and the non-calls are calls that Luka kind of goes after the officials. And
the days of broadcasters saying, "Oh my God, Luka's a generational talent," disappeared as quickly as Luka moved from Dallas to LA. I started saying the phrase "help minus the help" to describe LeBron James on defense 3 years ago. I have a multi-hour long montage worth of footage of LeBron James not guarding the perimeter and also not guarding the guy cutting to the lane. Just kind of watching it go by. Not even moving his feet. Every now and then lifting a hand. Not really. I can't actually remember that. So when they should be talking about the terrible decision to call this a flagrant one, or to even analyze themselves the flagrant one that's on the screen, they actually take the time to crap on Luka instead of talking about what is on the screen or why it's on the screen. Luka's guilty, and Luka throwing his arms up every play. F Luka, okay? That's where I'm coming from. F Luka. But I am not down with these guys who get handed a new script that says, hey, to save LeBron's ass, now we're going to destroy Luka. I broke down the entire game, including covering more of Reggie Miller's glazing of LeBron James. But that video is so long, I just broke it into a part 2, a follow-up to this one. Wanted to get this one out to you guys as quickly as I could, and watch for part 2 shortly.